live on this Saturday morning, it's February already, 6th of 2021. We've got so much more of the show to do for you. We've got our Colorado Limerick Inside Broadway and our Today, Yesterday quiz. But before all that, we're very excited to have a guest in the neighborhood, a man that I've known for, oh my gosh, probably 30 odd years, some of them odder than others. Ladies and gentlemen, live from New York, it's entertainment journalist. Let's check your audio and your video. Your video's working great. Hello, Harry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can indeed. We are talking with Harry Haun and the arm of his husband, who's behind in the kitchen there. So wave, husband. We'll see you later. No, he's not. Or I guess he can't hear us. But Harry, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yay.
He's getting coffee from me.
Welcome, Harry. This is Harry Haun. Let me tell you a little bit about my longtime friend. He was Mr. Entertainment at the New York Daily News. And then he became basically the main features writer for Playbill magazine for really a couple of decades. He's also written for the New York Observer and for Broadway World. He's the author of the movie Quote Book, and you can read his current writings at theaterpizzazz.com. Now we see more of your husband. Basically, it's kind of a split personality there. He'll be playing the Today, Yesterday quiz with us later on. That's Charles.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Charles, you have to put him on camera. It's a Jewish word.
Oh, yeah. But let's see we'll see his program. He'll be part of, you'll move over a little bit later when we play the game. But the interview part is with Harry Haun, entertainment writer and journalist. How are you, Harry?
Fine. I'm very fine.
That's great. So, do you live in New York? Are you in Manhattan?
Yes, Manhattan Plaza, as a matter of fact.
Oh, my God. Are there any apartments there ever available? Ever?
Yes, we're kind of an elephant graveyard, as it were. So there is a turnover.
Oh, because if you could let me know when there's a turnover, because that's Manhattan Plaza is this golden shining beacon for actors and directors who make money in the field and live in New York.
It's the only existing Twin Towers now in New York.
Ooh, well, and it's right, like it's 8th Avenue or 9th Avenue over on 42nd.
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th, yeah. It's an amazing location.
Yeah.
I remember the.
I'm sorry, it's 9th and 10th.
Oh, 9th and 10th. But I remember Ernie Shear, who was part of the National Critics Institute at the O'Neill. He lived in that building. Just all these actor folks are lucky enough to be there.
I can get items just riding the elevator.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever ridden with some well-known person and then you had a blurb for your column, a paragraph?
Yeah, that's happened. Dylan Baker lives here, and Becky Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I've done stories on both of them.
Dylan Baker's an actor. If you don't know the name, folks, you see the faces. Oh, I know who that is. And Becky Ann Baker is his wife, and I'm sure there are other pretty well-known or certainly journey person actor types who live there.
Tennessee Williams used to live on that floor, and Angela Lansbury also lived here when she was just on Broadway before she went out for Murder, She Wrote.
Right.
And there have been a lot of people. Jane Alexander lived here.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess then they go to Hollywood, they make millions of dollars and they can live where they want. But for an actor who makes a limited amount of money and who wants to be right in the heart of the Broadway district. Manhattan Plaza, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just this. So, Harry, if one of your neighbors dies, call me that second.
I'm all right. Yeah, okay.
Or better yet, if I give you a little extra money, if you could kill one of your neighbors for me,
I'll do what I can.
Please, that'd be great. So let me. By the way, you have a great visual behind you. That is not a fake backdrop. This is a real your nook with books and books. That painting, or is it it's not a Hirschfeld. What is that behind you? Are you in it? It is Hirschfeld. Yeah.
There's Bette Davis. We see Rex Reed. Janney.
Oh my God! So is that an actual? Did you get from Margot Feiden Gallery? Is that an official signed Hirschfeld, or is that just a print or something?
I knew Louise Hirschfeld, and I remember riding in a taxi one time, and I said, uh, "Would I've interviewed Al several times, and I said, would Al consider doing a a drawing of me?" And she said, "Sure, sure." He for friends, he only charges $700, and I said, "I'll get back to you about that."
Oh, I don't know. Which you might be
Seven,
worth it now. You probably should have done it. Oh
I'm
well.
sorry, I lost the decimal point. It's
Oh,
7,000.
so 7,000. Okay.
I'm thinking, but you know, Wayman Wong got a wonderful character.
Wait a minute, one of the Daily News. He's a Daily News, also an entertainment right. Well, I have two drawings of me by Sam Norkin. I don't know if you remember Sam. He used to
I do
go to,
remember Sam. I
yeah.
remember Sam fondly.
He was a cartoonist. He would do drawings for Stages magazine, and he would be at all the Drama Desk. It was either Drama Desk or Ivy Critic Circle,
He
and
was on the Drama Desk Award.
it was Drama Desk. Okay,
Yeah.
he would sit there while everybody else was partying and eating and talking. He would just set himself up and draw all of us. And it took like 10 minutes with each of us. It was wonderful of him. And I have the caricature right here, right by this desk. Anyway, this is not about me. This is about you, Harry Haun. So let me ask you just the most memorable interviews that you have done in your thousands and thousands of interviews. Like any anecdotes, any great stories?
Oh, I have a lot of great stories. I have, you know, I had wonderful interviews with Christopher Plummer, who just passed away, and in fact, I have one of my last interview with him is on Facebook right now. He did a show, a one-man show called A Word About Words, and it was just him on the stage. And I remember how erect and wonderful posture the man had, and he was like 82 or 3, and you feel it when you're that age. And he was wonderfully agile, and I would remember marveling at that. We had some really nice interviews. When he was doing the Scottish play
Mm-hmm.
Linda- with Linda Jackson, he was in the wings in the dark, and a spear carrier ran right into him and broke his tooth right in front. But he went on. He kept going on with the show, and he said everything was fine except for words beginning with F.
Oh
It's
man.
very wonderfully funny. He did a play called he got a Tony for Barrymore, John Barrymore, and he had early in his career he had an association with Diana Barrymore that hasn't gotten any press, but they were very close. She was a little pretty far gone into booze by that time.
Well, so is he. Did you read that article by Michael Regal in the Post about him doing Sound of Music? And he was basically in his cups through the whole movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. He mellowed on that. I noticed a lot of in interviews where he said it was a good film, but it wasn't my favorite. That's the strongest criticism he had. But he called it The Sound of Mucus, and he I wonder if he really is twirling in his grave about everybody remembering him for the Sound of Music, and he did so many great performances. He was just absolutely great. He when he was 82 years old, he played a very late blooming gay and got an Academy Award. He's the oldest Oscar-winning actor there is, and he could stop there, but he kept acting, and he became the oldest nominated actor. Like when he was 88, he
Wow.
did he did a movie called
Was
All.
that the one where we replaced Kevin Spacey or something like that?
Yeah,
Was
and
yeah.
he did that 6 days before the film was released.
Wow.
Talk about a fast study. He was wonderful in that, and they nominated him for him, and he's also the oldest uh, Oscar-winning actor and the oldest Oscar-nominated actor.
So, and you, of course, got to interview him, but you've interviewed literally thousands of other folks. And what are your other favorite or most memorable interviewees?
Oh, I have very fond memories of interviewing Gregory Peck. I did that several times. I did it one time on location. He did a movie called um, I Walked the Line, and Johnny Cash gave up his song for that. And he played a sheriff, and Tuesday Well was his love interest in it. He was married to Stella Parsons in the film, and he was a compromised lawman. And at the very end of the movie, he drives his pickup truck into a lake and is drowned. That's how the movie originally ended, but they ended it earlier than that, so you don't know that he actually got killed. It's very interesting. Yeah, he was very polite to my wife. I remember he made sure that she had a place to sit down, and I just thought he was a lovely guy. He had a lot of class. I interviewed him one time. Let's see. He was. I saw him one time at the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Mhm.
It was produced by Pierre. What was his name?
Cazette, Pierre
Yeah,
Cazette. Yeah.
and Pierre also produced the Will Rogers Follies, and Greg did a voiceover of Ziegfeld, and he just came on opening night to glitter up the evening, and I saw him behind me, and I said, "Can you believe they're making a musical of the Scarlet Pimpernel?" I said, "What if they made a musical of Duel and Son?" He said, "I think we did." It was a little overripe. That's his way of saying it was overripe.
No, let's get to some of the personal stuff because people might be a little confused. We just saw momentarily your husband Charles, and Charles will be joining you for the Today Yesterday quiz. But you also mentioned your wife, so you were married like more than once,
Oh yes, I
and
was
to lady type people. So
ready
when
type.
did when did you
It's a very
realize that
checkered
was you?
past.
Huh?
It's a very checkered past,
Really?
and I enjoyed every one of my relationships, and I'm great friends with all of my wives. all of my all of my exes live in Texas almost.
So was it the kind of thing that in the I don't know the 60s, 70s, 80s you can admit to yourself who you were, or you were different back then, or or did you know you were bisexual at one point, or now you are gay, or you're still where are you on the spectrum?
Well, I mean, I always was gay, but I had trouble admitting it. Most people don't want to admit it. I was practicing straight for 56 years,
Wow.
and like Christopher Plummer in that movie. I wasn't 75 like his character was, but I did get a little break on that.
What
Uh,
was it that allowed you to admit to you, not to yourself and then to the world, hey, I'm not what I've been for 50 something years?
I think a Sondheim lyric. He um, he wrote a song. It was the last song he wrote, and for Passion. And he said, the lyric is, "Loving you is not a choice; it's who I am." And something that made it so simple, that just when they start rhyming these things, I catch on.
So let me ask, when did you realize, typical question, that you were a writer?
Oh, well, when I was about 11 years old, and in this little town, I'm from Greenville, Texas, uh, at the Wesley Methodist Church, they had no, it was Kavanaugh Methodist Church. They had Saturday morning matinees, and they showed serials. I remember seeing all of Buster Crabbe's Flash Gordons and Ming the Magnificent, all of that. And I would go home and I would write up every event that happened in that serial, and then I'd go back and see another one, and then I'd write it up. That's how I started. I just started like that.
Were
And
you did you synopsize them only, or were you already making? Were you trying to be critical of them? Did you say I love this one, or this was yeah?
it was a synopsis. It was just
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, pardon.
And excuse me, I had I, I started reading criticisms, and that's when I realized there was another dimension there. I saw the Yearling. I remember the Yearling. I remember Green Dolphin Street. When I remember the Window, they were that was Bobby Driscoll. Got an Oscar. He was a kid, imaginative kid who saw a murder.
But
And
it's one thing to be an 11-year-old writing these things. How did that get you to one of the major New York daily newspapers?
well, I I started at the Nashville Tennessean,
Hmm.
and I was on the copy desk, and I was the only guy that knew how to spell John McIntyre. And they said, "Well, I think we could use him in our Sunday department," you know. And the Sunday department had a magazine called Showcase, and I infiltrated that, and I became there. They didn't have a movie critic,
Oh.
and I started writing criticism.
So I still think of you because from when I knew you, you were already a theater journalist, like celebrity interview kind of thing. I never knew that whole movie criticism backstory. That's kind of
Oh,
yeah.
I did movie criticism at the Daily News also. You know, I did for Kathleen Carroll. I was her uh, her beat guy. You know, I was her assistant. And
Now here's a question though. If most people would just kill if you're a person like me for that job. Like,
oh,
oh my God, I'm the movie critic for the New York Daily News, or even the second string movie critic for the New York Daily News. Why didn't you stay with that? How did that evolve into even more stuff to do?
well, I'm a great believer in what you want will lead you. I don't see the rhyme or reason for any of this, but it was a clear, direct path. I think of my life as a direct line. You know, from what you want will lead you. I wanted this. This is more than I wanted anything else, and I I I couldn't believe when I started at the Daily News as the entertainment editor that they came to me and said, "You want opening night tickets?" And I said, "Yeah, I could use that." And I saw so many opening nights. I saw about 40 years of opening nights. You know,
Wow.
it was
What was the most memorable opening night that you went to a theater?
well, actually, it wasn't an opening night. It was
A preview, maybe.
when a chorus line became the greatest show on Broadway,
Yeah.
longest running show, and they had an event, and they refortified the stage and had countries that have a chorus line come in and do the do the dance. It was absolutely wonderful. I remember. I remember seeing Chorus Line for the first time, and I wanted to really enjoy it. So I had a joint. Okay, I did that in
Wow.
there, and then
Uh,
I sat down, and I thought, hey, this has begun. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, and it was playing about 2 minutes. I said, this show has begun.
Now, were you seeing it at the public, or was this already when it was on Broadway when you first saw it?
It was on Broadway.
It was on Broadway at that point.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Harry some other favorite interviewees. Some great anecdotes, funny anecdotes of literally, I mean, so many luminaries.
I interviewed Ingrid Bergman and Anthony Quinn when they did a movie in Tennessee. This is when I was the entertainment editor of the Tennessean, and I've always adored Ingrid Bergman. She's just about my favorite, and I remember uh, I remember the way she said the Smoky Mountains. I always thought that was so sweet. I used that in her obituary when I had to write. I did a 3-part obituary about her, and I mentioned that. Before she died, I did an item when I was doing Liz Smith. I replaced Liz Smith when she went on vacation. Oh, that's the greatest job in the world. That's the
Hmm.
ultimate, And I remember said Elizabeth Taylor, Ingrid Bergman uh, is gravely ill in London, and that nobody had mentioned that. I knew it kind of in a secret way, and she got up out of her bed and went across the street to a park and posed for photographs to kind of refute that. I just felt awful about that,
Hmm.
um, that she would do that because of that. But sure enough, and she died. She died on her birthday, uh, and that was about 2 months later.
Well, the nature of theater journalism and entertainment gossip has really kind of shifted from when, like Earl Wilson or you or Ward Morehouse and Ward Morehouse the third were doing it, till sort of Michael Riegel came in and shifted it to being about the dynamics and the money and getting secret stories of bad behavior backstage, as opposed to saying, hey, this show is coming up and here's a quick quote from the producer and here's what the stars say about it. I mean, do you think that's been good or bad?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I mean, people read Riedel, and I think he's done a wonderful job. He people read him because he gives them information,
Hmm.
and he does it, and he wants to be liked. Poor boy, he's not liked. They it makes them angry at what he does, but they read him. That's the
Yeah.
important thing, and I think he won that. He's been doing it like 23 or 4 years. He's 54 years old. I think his mother brought him to the audition. He started right out. And he did it. He's always been
Well, let me ask
versatile.
what you're doing. So you currently still write. I mean, you're not retired. You write for
Yeah.
theaterpizzazz.com. So what do you do for them? What can people read you um, there, especially now in a pandemic? What you're writing about?
I'm writing a book actually,
Oh,
and so I'm letting all the releases. People say it's going to be released. This movie is going to be released. I don't see them, and I have to see it in a theater, and they won't open the theater, so I just kind of ignore it. I make notes of things I want to see.
mm,
I want to see Ma Rainey
it's
uh,
very good. Yeah.
and the Spike Lee movie, but I haven't really knocked myself out. I've been watching a lot of uh, TV miniseries. Uh, I've been doing that,
But what
and
have you been writing about for Theater Pizzazz? What do you are your columns about there?
they're a mixture of theater and film, that the both worlds,
Yeah.
and that's essentially what I do.
So you're previewing, you're interviewing. I mean, what?
Uh, I have interviewed a few people for Theater Pizzazz, but mostly it's just informational thing that crossed my desk. And this is I mean, it was 11 months ago when I did that. I
Right.
have been on March 10th. I just started writing this book, and I've been doing that constantly. I've gotten a few assignments, and I will do it. Jeffrey Richards.
Sure.
He, I've been doing some stories for him. Yes.
Well, he's a press agent and now a producer. So what are you doing for him?
I'm doing something on the minutes. I did an
Oh,
interview with Anna D. Shapiro.
right.
I do it just like it's a story, and
We should mention that The Minutes is a play that was going to open in March on Broadway. It's a Tracy Letts play. And then, of course, it's waiting. And when Broadway opens up again, it should open, I guess, sometime in fall of
it's going
21.
to be I think March. It's going to be 2 years and 2 days.
Wow,
It-
2
it-
years.
yeah,
Amazing. Yeah.
next March. Next March is when it's going to open.
That's actually a scoop. I did not know. I thought it was going to open in the fall, like with everything else trying to. We'll see. But now you're saying it'll be March
It's going to
2022.
be a while, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Wow. Let me ask you, what do you predict for the theater in New York in like 2022 and 3? I mean, do you see it getting normalized with everybody getting shots and
oh, I hope so. I mean, I hope that herd immunity sets in and we can go with a good conscience to the theater, you know. Right now, I'm just afraid to get out. I just,
Hmm.
uh,
would you go like in the fall, in October, November of this year? If you wore a mask,
yeah.
would you sit in the Helen Hayes? Would you sit in the Lunfontaine and watch a show?
Well, I'm going to have a lot of medical signals about that before I decide to do something. If Fauci says I can do it, I will do it.
All right. Have you gotten the vaccine? Are you lined up for it? Are you?
I get my second one tomorrow at Manhattan Plaza. Yes, I know. I
How
feel
did the first one? Did you feel anything? Was there any side
no,
effects? Anything or just
no,
nothing?
absolutely not. You know,
Great.
I thought I would feel something, but because I don't really like needles, but I didn't even feel that. You know, I think it's called the butterfly needle.
Fine with
As
me.
as
I'd
for the
rather have a
butterfly,
gnat needle, but even a microscopic flea needle, if they have those. So Harry, before we bring in the contestants to play our today, yesterday trivia quiz, and you'll bring Charles in to play with you.
They're very raunchy and rowdy.
Well, there's a lot of fun. You know these people. You know Leslie Hoban Blake, and you know David
I met
Sheward.
the lady and I met David.
Yeah, so you know these folks. So it's going to be like old home week for all of us. But we still have a couple of minutes, so I want to hear some more. Tell me about like one of the worst interviews that you ever had to do, like the celebrity. You're like, oh god.
I think the worst was Anthony Perkins. He did a movie in Nashville. No, it was in Knoxville, and I lived in Nashville, and I went over to see him, and they had a premiere, and it was a very interesting movie. Eddie Albert's son, his Edward Albert, his son was in it, and we had to. I got on a plane to go back to Nashville with Tony, and we agreed that I do the interview then and
Mhm.
pick it up regularly with the other people. So I would just sit at the, and I sat with him, and he gave me yes, no answers. And finally, I just got tired and picked up a magazine and started reading it, you know. And when we were picking up our luggage, he came up to me and said, "I hope you got everything you want." I said, "I did, yes." I didn't
What
run
was that?
away.
Do you think you would out him, and what do you think was his problem?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, he had a lot of problems. Um, uh, well, there's this story that Charles Strauss told when he was doing Nick and Nora with Arthur Lawrence, and he went over to confer with Arthur Lawrence, and Arthur Lawrence came to the door and was laughing just hysterically. He said, "Anthony Perkins has AIDS," and he was really joying in that, you know, because Anthony was married and uh, he thought he was getting his comeuppance. I thought that was well. It tells you who uh, Arthur Lawrence was. I interviewed Arthur Lawrence, and I got along with him. I didn't, uh, and he was snippy. He was I hate people that are like they're on top of it and snooty, and they just condescend. You know when that happens. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for one thing, he speaks his mind or spoke his mind. You knew exactly how he felt, but at the same time, he didn't spare people. He kind of should have been like a little more, for a guy who's a director and a producer and a librettist and a lyricist. I mean, it's kind of like Arthur. You got to work with these people.
mm,
you know?
Hal Holbrook was
Ah,
originally in The Fool Killer, and it was right after he did the Mark Twain run, and it was going to be his movie debut, and he played an elderly person, and he used the makeup for Mark Twain, and it just photographed like somebody with a young guy with makeup, and they scrapped that performance, and they brought in Henry Hull of oh, you would know him, and he did the role. So Hal Holbrook didn't make his movie debut until uh, it was called the Group, the Mary
Oh,
McCarthy movie. And I enjoyed. I would run into it every once in a while, and I remember he just adored Dixie Carter, his wife, and he insisted that I go see her in master class, and she was really wonderful in that. She didn't get the press that other people did.
well, she didn't open the show. She would have been like
Yeah,
a replacement,
yeah.
so they don't pay as
Zoe,
much attention.
Zoe opened it. I went down to Washington to see that, and she was such a lovely memory for me. I just thought she was a wonderful, wonderful person. She was a great interviewer too. She
Oh,
called it she called it make theater. That's what we do. We make theater, instead of act. She
all
made
right.
theater.
Now, speaking of people, someone who made theater and especially movies, we haven't had a chance to ask about, since last week, our guest was a woman named Jessica Schur, who's doing a one-woman show about Betty Davis called Betty Davis Ain't for Sissies. So you actually interviewed a couple of times
Oh, I did.
the Betty Davis. Yeah.
I remember I asked her two questions that said, is it true that you had George Brent as a dartboard in your apartment? And so she throws darts at him. They were actual co-stars and lovers.
Oh,
And she says, I certainly did not, and I know that's to be true. And I got confused with her and Olivia about throwing a typewriter at William Wyler. There was another case of a love-hate relationship. And I asked her if that was true. And she said, no. I said, where do you get these questions? And I said, well, I was just trying to ask you questions that you're not asked usually. And she said, well, try harder.
hmm. All
And
right.
it was a painful interview.
Oh,
And I interviewed her a second time, and Bob Osborne was a friend of hers and mine. And I asked him, I said, please put in a good word and tell her I'm not a bad guy. And he told her secretary that. And she was so nice. She sat in a chair for 45 minutes and answered my questions. And I think she had one cigarette. She says, I think it's a great prop. And well, you certainly would know about cigarettes being a great prop.
that
And
that neat.
it was absolutely lovely. It was well, it's a wonderful career to go over.
Absolutely. Well, it has been a delight going over your career, Harry Haun, in the theater, and certainly to. Do you know when you're going to be finishing? I don't want to put pressure on you, but when do you think your book will be done?
God, I have no idea. I really don't, because I keep adding to it. I keep finding things. I could. I mean, it's kind of ready now, but I want to keep adding things.
Well, speaking of adding things, we are adding to our visuals right now. Our friend of the neighborhood, someone who's been on the show for many, many years, but now is with us basically every week playing the Today Yesterday game. It's our great friend, former president of the Drama Desk, also a man who writes for 3 different places at the moment, including his own blog, The David Desk, Cultural Weekly, and TheaterLife.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the neighborhood, of course, David Sheward. Hello,
Good
David.
morning.
Bravo, bravo. Hi,
Good
Dave.
morning, Harry.